All right. So this is Women's History Month, and I've been watching for the entire month as Teela has gone through and interviewed different women. But I thought today it would be really cool if we could interview the model realtor so that you guys can hear from her what she has going on and how I think she works really hard, and so I just want people to understand what it's like what's a day in the life like and stuff like that. So Tila, I'm gonna start just asking you questions.
Okay,
All
that's
right.
fine.
So the first question that I have is for those of them who don't know you, tell us a little bit about who you are and what you're all about, and give us a bio.
Gotcha. So I am Teela Brown, the model realtor of the Bex Group at Long and Foster. I am a wife. I am a sister. I'm an auntie. I love my family. I am a model, and hence the model realtor. And I'm an actress as well. So I have a lot of passions and a lot of talents. But right now, all of my energy and focus is in real estate, but I'm starting to blend all of my talents together.
Cool. So, what got you into real estate? Let's start there.
Being tired of retail.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a retail manager for 20 years. And I love retail because I love fashion. I love helping people. And I just love interacting with people, meeting new people, helping them out, making them look good, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew that I had a lot of skills. I knew that I was a great manager. I knew that I developed people well. And I wanted to be in corporate. But I didn't make it because I felt like you had to kiss ass. And
Mm.
I don't like to kiss ass, guys. So I realized that all the talents that I have, I can put it into something that I can kind of make my own and be my own boss, but still help people, still be myself, and still make money because we all need money to survive. So being tired of retail, knowing that I had skills, knowing that I could be my own boss, doing something led me to real estate. And also Mike told me 10 years ago do real estate. I didn't listen. Then when I got into it, he just looked at me like, I told you so. So yeah.
So you finally listened to your
I
husband.
finally listened to my husband.
Mm. Anyway, so a lot of people do get into real estate. A lot of people don't make it in real estate.
Mhm.
You are one who has jumped in and you're really beginning to make a name for yourself. When you came in, what did you think would be easy, but then it was actually hard?
So I thought getting clients would be easy because I felt like in real estate you just had to be cute, you had to have a nice personality, and then everybody would flock to you and say, "Hey, I want to you to help me buy a house. I want you to help me sell a house." But I realized that those are just icings on the cake. Like if you have those things, good, but that is totally not what you need to be a good realtor. No.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So so here's the thing. When people get into real estate, they think they're just like buying and selling houses,
Mhm.
but they don't really think about I'm starting my own business, which is what you've done.
Absolutely.
So tell me a little bit about what it was like to start your own business. What are those emotions and like, the trials, the tribulations, the joys? Tell me about
Oh
that.
man. So to start out on your own as a business owner, and even going into being a realtor, you're not like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be a business owner. You're
Mhm.
going into it like, I'm gonna be a realtor. I'm gonna be helping people buy and sell houses. But once you realize that you want to be a business owner, it kind of shifts. So you have to do things differently. Like you have to start to worry about your timing. Are you doing the things that you know you're supposed to be doing when you're supposed to be doing them? Because now you have all the free time. You work for yourself. So There were some times when I would, take myself a little lunch date, prepare myself for my day, and then I look up, I hadn't done anything. So I had to, allow myself to be accountable. Okay, do you really just want a free day, or do you want to be a business owner? Like, there's a difference. There's things that you need to do in your day to make sure that you're moving your business forward. As a realtor, you have to prospect. You have to find clients. If you're not finding clients, you're not making money, you're not serving. I also had to fight against my own mindset. Was I good enough for this? Am I going to be as good as I want to be in this? I see other realtors out here doing their thing. Can I stack up?
So tell me a little bit about that. Tell me about the moments when you didn't feel like you had it. Where was the moment that you realized, like, oh no, I can do this? Was there a moment like that? Did something happen, or did it just eventually come to you?
Yes, there was a moment where I had a transaction and it was going like way left. And I was like, I'm about to just give up on this S. Like, this transaction has not settled in 2 weeks. Like, we still don't have it clear to close. My clients, I don't want them to be homeless. Like, I'm still trying to help them figure that out. But then I realized that I had surrounded myself with a great support system, and all I had to do was reach out to them and allow them to help me. And when I knew that, I realized I had the support system, I allowed myself to just let everything go because I tried to do everything on my own. And I tried to fix the issues on my own. And I tried to take care of whatever issues were in the transaction on my own. But all I had to do was like reach out to my people, have a conversation with Mike, tell him what's going on, get other insight. And when I allowed other people to pour into me and I realized it, that's when I knew I had something. I don't have to do this on my own.
So I think I had a moment before that where when I saw that you had it. And I don't
Really?
know if you remember this one. Well, I know you remember it, but so um, the property that was down in Penn North, Carey
Oh,
Street, Carey Street.
Carrie.
So it is a property that was like the worst house to have to sell. The lady wanted way too much money for what it was worth. The neighborhood was not good. I think it was like maybe 20 houses on a block, and aside from three, everything else was all boarded
Boarded
up.
up. Yep.
And she had had maybe five different realtors try to sell her house over like a 3 or 4 year period. Somehow Teela gets this listing and sells it. She does with like with other realtors over 3 or 4 years could not do. She actually did it, and when you did that, I was like, oh, she got it. But I don't think you knew that yet. But I thought that was tremendous.
Oh wow. I remember us having a conversation about that too. And you was like, when I finally settled on it, it was like a year later, guys. Like a property, a whole year. Did not sell. And when I settled on it, you was like, Teela, like you did that.
Mm-hmm.
4 or 5 other people tried and you did it.
You did it.
And I was like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
So I do remember that. Thank you for bringing
Yeah.
that to my memory.
So I want to do some before and after,
Okay.
right? So before you became a realtor, before you were a business owner, dynamic entrepreneur, entrepreneuress, I'm starting the word.
Wow.
Before you were there, what time did you wake up in the morning before you got all that?
Well, in retail, it depended on my schedule. If I had to close that night and I had to be to work at 1, I would get up at like 11 in the morning, get myself prepared, and go into the job. If I had to be there at 7, I would get up at 5:45 because I only live 15 minutes away. Quickly dress and then be out the door.
What time you get up every morning now?
5 o'clock.
For your own business?
5 a.m.
5 a.m.
5 a.m.
Why is that?
Because I realized that I have things that I need to do throughout the day, and I need to prepare myself first. And I have to meditate. Like, I have to allow myself to move into my day with as much positivity as possible, because you never know what you're going to get in your day, especially with all these transactions and meeting new people. And also, like, waking up in the morning and getting to the office at 7 in the morning, if you're there by yourself, it kind of makes you feel like top dog, because you kind of open the office, and I used to open the store for my associates. So like I'm kind of opening the office. So it's kind of putting me back into the mindset of having a job, like working, because you work for yourself, but you still have a job.
How many books on average did you read a year before you became a realtor and started your empire?
4.
How many now?
Ooh. Maybe 20.
Tell me about that. What is that? How's that been impactful in your life and in your business?
Oh, it's been very impactful. So I love to read. So getting back into the swing of things and understanding that I have to read wasn't too hard, but I liked to read. Now it's a necessity. Like I have to read, because that's one thing to keep me leveled. If I'm having a bad day, or if I'm, having, those emotions that we sometimes get, if I pick up a book and just get into the book, it allows my mind to just forget about whatever issues that I'm having or whatever problem I feel like I can't figure out. The book allows me to just, calm down, take in some information. But also, books are people's life. So it takes, maybe a person writes a book, it takes their entire life experience, maybe 20 years. They put it into a book. I just read that book in a month, and I have someone else's life experience for 20 years. So that's going to set me apart and allow me to get over hurdles that they may have had to encounter in their year 19. I'm in my year 3, but I'm already able to get past that hurdle because I have that information just by reading the book.
So as you're climbing your ladder of success, things have to be left behind. What were
Yes.
some of the things that you left behind or let go of? And the reason I'm asking these questions is because a lot of times people will see you on social media and,
Yeah.
and videos and see stuff, and they're going to think it's like, because you do it so well, that it's easy.
Yeah.
But I want them to see how hard it has been and how badass you are because you've overcome these things. So, like, what were some of the things that you had to give up or walk away from so that you can move forward?
I had to give up. The biggest thing was my mindset, was the thoughts of me feeling like I wasn't good enough, or I can't do it, or because I grew up in the hood, that I can't be this amazing dynamic realtor, or because I um just the things that you tell yourself every day, and the negative thoughts that you tell yourself about the goals that you have, or negative people. I had to give up negative people as well. It's hard to give up people that you love, but if they're not telling you positive things to keep you motivated on your journey, then they're just hindering you. So I had to give up some of those negative people, definitely negative mindsets, and I had to give up some comfort.
Mm.
Like, you can't be comfortable if you're trying to go out here and do all these big things and help build this amazing team. Like, you're not going to be able to be cute all day every day. Prospecting, I'm out here passing out flyers and newsletters in my neighborhood with raggedy Ugg boots on, um, because at that point it's not about me, it's about getting the information out to the people and out to my neighbors about real estate. I'm not gonna care that I don't have on my heels, or, dressed to the nines that day. I'm sweating, makeup running, but I feel good because I'm doing this for my business. I'm doing this for myself, and I'm doing it for, the community, so they can understand real estate.
So, the funny story, you talk about handing out the flyers. So usually I would work with realtors and because it can be, you can be a little afraid to do something like that. I mean, you
Yeah.
get nervous, and to this day I still kind of get little butterflies in my stomach when I gotta go hand out flyers because you never know how people are going to be, right?
Yeah.
And
That's true.
so I usually go with realtors for the first time. So the first time I went with Teela, she was the only one who outworked me that day. I was getting overheated, felt like I was going to get a heat stroke or something, and she was still going and walking up and down steps and everything else and doing it, and you still do that to that day. I think that's why you are where you are, because when you do things that some people may be afraid to do, you still do it. You do it afraid, but you still do it.
Absolutely.
And that's why you're there.
Yeah. And I remember one day I was on a call because we have our Friday morning team meeting calls. And I was out in the rain, like passing out the flyers on the call with the team because I had to get them done. Like they had to be done. And out of that, one of the neighbors said, "Oh, thank you for being committed to, giving us the information. Like, I have a question. Here's my number. Give me a call." So
I'm just really glad that we're having this and this conversation is coming out, because I really don't know that people understand your work ethic is sick. It's really sick.
I don't think I realized that though. By you saying that, that's kind of like.
No, it is. You take challenges. You accept challenges. Tell us about the appointment challenge that you had.
Oh yeah, so
part 1 and part 2.
So this guy likes to give out challenges. So when he gives out challenges, I'll be like, "Here we go," but get yourself together because you got to do it anyway. So the first challenge was 30 appointments in 30 days. And this was like, I think a year ago. So, you know me, okay, 30 appointments. So I got the 30. Life was grand. I won some books. So he dangled some books in front of my face and some wine. And I was like, oh, that's me. I need that prize. So I did win. Got the books, got the wine. And then this year, he's like, okay, so I'm going to give you another appointment challenge. I'm like, oh, I did 30 easy. Like, that's nothing. He's like, no, I need you to double that. I actually did 33. And he's like, I need you to double that. So I'm like, 66? Whoa, wait a minute, Jesus. Like, did you see me at 30? But long story short, I got 67 appointments, because I always feel like I have to do one over. I have to go above and beyond. That's just me. So I got 67 appointments.
You're going to do one more than what's required, right?
Yes, that's true.
That's it.
True. So yeah, I did 67 appointments in 30. And it was less than 30 days because there was a week where I was going through things with my mom. And I just couldn't get into the business, but I still knew I needed to do this challenge. So I think it was like 21 days I did it.
So all of that hard work and transformation, soul searching, all the things that you have to do to be successful, you couldn't have done it without amazing support.
Absolutely.
And I'm not talking about like team support, but I'm talking about support at home. So tell me a little bit about how you going on this journey has impacted maybe your relationship and how you deal with that and how amazing Mike is. And we're busting past the time limits here, so you're going to either edit it or keep it going. So
okay. So Mike, everybody knows Mike is my boo. That's my baby. But he's hard on me as well because he understands what potential I have. And like the team pushes me to do better. He pushes me to be better as well. And he's a military guy. So, they're kind of, strategic. They have their foundation and they're by the books. And if you say you're going to do something, like, they're like, okay, I need you to go do it. And I'm looking at Akelia because she's, she's our military member. So, yeah. But he has been an amazing support because on those days when I'm in my feelings and I feel like I can't do it type of a day, he comes in there, he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm just in my feelings. He's like, I feel you in your feelings, so go get you some water. Have whatever conversation you need with yourself, but I need you to get back to where you're supposed to be, because just dwindling here is not going to get us anywhere. And I respect that because he doesn't allow me to be in my pity. He does give me my space to let me go through whatever emotions I go through, and I appreciate you for that, babe, because you're great with that, and you support me in that, and you allow me to have my feelings and my emotions. But you're also like, okay, that part is done. Now we need to get back into our goals and what we have set, because we have people looking. Mm-hmm. And it's not looking at what you have or what we do. It's like, how are they going to get past this situation? Because I might be in that situation and just need an example to follow of how to get through it positively. Because I don't think it's enough of that out here.
Shout out to Mike, because you can't do it without amazing support behind you. And sometimes when you're frustrated and you come home and you're ready to give up, you do need a person that will listen to you and allow you to have that moment, but then put you back on the track of like, this is why you started though. So you got to keep going. Absolutely. And I've talked to people, and a lot of people don't have that support. You know what I mean? So it's truly a blessing that he's there by your side, pushing you forward, cheering you on. So shout out again to Mike, even though it's Women's Month. But shout out to Mike. So let's wrap this up. I just have a couple more questions, maybe one. Okay. But I just want to ask you about the team thing. Okay. Because a lot of realtors get into real estate, and it seems like for some reason they want to jump and do it all on their own, which I've always thought that it's best to jump and learn anyway from others, and then maybe go out on your own, everything. Like, what made you want to be on a team or stay on a team when you're good enough to do it on your own? But like, tell me a little bit about that whole dynamic.
So I joined the team because when I was first licensed, I was kind of out here struggling, not knowing exactly what to do and how to get myself to the point where I knew I wanted to be. Like, I didn't want to do one transaction a year. I didn't want to do 3 transactions a year. If you're going to be a realtor, like, be a realtor. And I just didn't know how to get there. And then when I met you and Tawanda, I met you in launch. You were my instructor. I realized, and it was a conversation with Mike too, because I thought coming into real estate, it was just going to be me, because y'all know sometimes I just be like that. But understanding that I didn't have the tools, the systems, the resources, the connections, the mindset, the support, like, I didn't have much of any of that. So how can I get to greatness, or where I know I need to be, without those things? And I think it's a lot of a pride thing. Like, real estate is competitive. So you come in, you're like, I'm going to be the man, I'm going to be the woman. Yeah, that's true, but how?
Houseway.
Like, and you don't know anything. Like, yes, you get your pre-licensing information. Yes, you might have done your own transaction, because I kind of, did a more than usual of our own when we bought, but that was as far as I knew. So how am I going to get to my goals if I don't connect with who knows the information? And I come from retail. Everything is a team. So I'm just comfortable in a team setting, in a leadership team setting. So it just only made sense. And you guys are like amazing. Like, there's nobody like you guys that pour into agents, that support agents, that kind of give us like therapy sessions sometimes. Like, okay. So it's just, and it feels like family. So.
Oh, stop it.
Okay. So yeah. Stop. And you guys.
No, stop. No.
But, and if you guys look at this hardware right here, this is what I mean. Yeah. We did this today at the award show. We didn't even know we were going to get all this. And we have like certificates to go with them. This is 4 freaking trophies. Conversation. We sitting down at the table. Oh, next year, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do this. We're going to have this award. We're going to have that award. God say next year. Oh, no, y'all getting that today.
Today.
And that's just the humbleness of who we are as a team. And how we've come together to serve in real estate, but to also serve ourselves and our families and each other. So that's just what the Bex Group is. Like, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
One last question, because as
I thought that was the
no, I got one last question.
Okay.
Because your superhero name is the Slash.
Really?
Yeah, because you're like model slash realtor slash
I
entrepreneur
like
slash
That's
slash.
cute.
So she's the Slash. How do you? Because there's a lot of people out here that's listening to this have that vision like you do, and it's all encompassing.
Yeah.
Right. How do you say this is where I'm focusing, and this is for later? How do you stay focused in and win in one area while you're trying to build another area? Because sometimes it can be too much too soon for some people. Absolutely. Right? But you're building it all out simultaneously. Tell me about that.
So I've had too much too soon moments. Like, so I've done everything that I love to do separately. I was a model. I was an actress. I am a realtor. And I had to realize which one I needed at the time. So modeling and acting wasn't making us any money. And I knew that I needed to create a financial stability for me and my husband and my family because we're getting older. Like, you guys have to think about these things. Like, we need money to live and we're going to get older. And I'm not retiring where I can't be on somebody's beach. Like, that's a goal for me. So I had to have that conversation with Mike. He's like, okay, you're not making any money doing these things, so we need a new plan. I didn't want to work retail for the rest of my life, so I had to kind of put those things on the back burner. They were hard for me because I loved to do them and I was great at it, but real estate came to the forefront because I needed to create that foundation of finances. And then once you do that, you free yourself up to be able to go do your other passions and to be able to do the other things that you know you want to do in life because you're financially stable. So real estate allows me to be financially stable, along with the support of Mike. So I'm able to now be my full self, and I can be the model realtor because I can just bring those skills in, do it in real estate, because real estate allows you to be whoever you want to be. Who are you going to be? The model realtor.
I love it. And you said that from day one when you came in. You were like, yeah. I'm the model realtor.
Yeah. I know some people probably was like, who she thinks she is? But also I knew that I wanted to coach other model realtors. I'm the first one. Others are coming behind me, and it's starting to happen. So that was just my train of thought.
I love it. So we could actually go on and on and on because I can ask a lot of questions because I believe you have so much more inside of you that people need to hear, but I'm pretty sure you're going to keep putting yourself out there, and hopefully others are watching and saying, if Teela B can do it, yes, I know I can do it too. Absolutely. But I just want them to understand that it's not as easy as you make it look. You make it look easy. It's not that easy, but anybody still can do it if they willing to put in the work. So I appreciate
if you join the Bex Group, you can do it.
For yeah, well, shameless plug, but yeah. So, but thank you, Teela.
Oh, thank you, Repa. I appreciate you.
All right.